Welcome back, gamers. It's Wintermute here from Grind This Game, and I'm starting from scratch because my last base on cycle 810 was just too laggy to play anymore, and it was kind of an experimental base where I was learning as I went. So this time I have a bit more of a plan. I'll probably kind of show my planned base design a bit later in the video, but I did some shuffles on these three dupes, and this is kind of what I'm going to go with. Pretty good stats all around, all narcoleptics, which I'm not sure is a great thing, but we got a digger, a cook, and someone who can do research. And I'm calling this thing jelly-filled rock. So here we are. So here's the layout I'm thinking of for my base. It might not end up exactly like this, but I wanted the farms. I'll describe the center first. So I wanted just each one of these rows is about 10 beds. These blue chunks, and then massage kind of in the middle, and then eating area in the center of the base, along with cooking area. So I want to minimize kind of walking that the dupes do. So I have my two farms on the right hand side here. I'll have them, they can go in, harvest, bring it right to the cooking area right away, and then minimal kind of running to get to the eating area. Same idea with showers close to the center of the base because they use the washrooms and have showers a lot. Bed's not as important because they're kind of on the outside because they only use the bed at night. And then I have some room for expansion. And since CO2 naturally sinks, I have this at the bottom of the base, the CO2 pit. And I'll probably put the air scrubbers either underneath them or really close to them. I've got the electrolyzers at the top of the base. And I put them there just because hydrogen, any kind of loose hydrogen that we encounter will naturally flow to the top of the base. So even though this is going to be a sealed room, I just put them at top. I've got kind of a clean water pool on the right here. There wasn't a lot of logic between why it's here, but and then water cooling below. I saw a cool water cooling system on the forums that just uses wheezeworts and a water pump, so I kind of want to experiment with that. I've got fertilizer, the fertilizer room really close to the farm, so they don't have to run very far. And then on the left here, we got natural gas generators, which polluted water falls out of. So I've got my polluted water pit underneath those. And I've got a heavy wire kind of sealed wall here, so the bad decor doesn't spill over. Once it's built, no one should be going in here. And then I'll have a row of transformers that kind of feed into the base. So that's it for the layout. It probably won't, like I said, be perfect and end up like this, depending on the kind of map that I get. But this is the plan at least. So just taking a look at the starting map here, we got a good amount of algae on the bottom here. Some oxalite. Looks like a good amount of oxygen up here. So I'm probably gonna start digging out to the left and right here. Get some copper so we can start researching. And I'm going to try not to use priority 9 unless I absolutely have to. I'm going to try not to rush things because I want to plan things out a little bit better this time. So we got a cold biome right here, which is really close. Pretty nice. Probably put the center of the base just off to the right of this printing pod. I think that's going to be the plan. I want to try building a natural mealwood farm somewhere central to the base, or close to the base. Trying to make a bit of a pit of water here. Got some people trapped already. Put some temporary beds here. Don't want the beds to be here in the long term, but should be fine for now. And we probably want some outhouses as well. Kind of off away from the base. Kind of want to get a CO2 pit going kind of as soon as possible. It's like just-in-time toilet. I think they really needed to go kind of right away. Oh. Someone made a mess already. Get some research started here. And we only don't want anyone on combat. We want our researcher on research. Our cook on cooking. Should be good. Gonna put in a second toilet, just in case we don't get to compost before one fills up. See, a little bit close to the chilly zone here. Just gonna work my, actually, refinement. Oh, we already have farming, which includes compost. So we'll build that compost now. Let's do a couple of them. I tend to do things in sets of 2. New duplicates. Another learning, athletics. This person's pretty decent, so I'm going to go with max. Kind of want to kill this hatch. We don't want him eating our food at night. I want to try to get a fridge going in here pretty soon. So I might want to put a airlock here and get to this cold biome. So I'm going to try to build my lice farm right along this area here. And the way you do that is to put a planter box down. And plant something in it, and then destroy the box, and the seed should settle. And things should grow on the natural ground. They grow really slowly, but... So let's try this. Mealwood. Get an algae terrarium over here. Try to soak up a bit of the CO2. Produce some oxygen. And we actually want these to grow on the ground, so if we destroy all these boxes, the seeds should fall on the ground and then grow in the dirt. Or at least that's the plan. And they're picking up all the seeds. That's not what we wanted. Let's mess things up a bit, but so got all the basic research done. We're going to move on to the second tier. We're going to need a supercomputer. Oxygen's getting a bit thin in here, so we'll probably want another terrarium right here. Got a strength 8. I kind of like May here, so I'm going to go with one more. I'm going to need a bed for May. Thinking we should build our second floor here. Got a nice kind of array of biomes around, which is nice. These don't seem to be kind of growing in the soil, which is not good. It's been a few cycles, so they should be growing here, but they're not. Might just need to grow them in the standard way. Give them one more cycle and see if they take root. I'm gonna try to put a fridge in here. It's minus 25 in here, so should keep things nice and cold. CO2 is actually kind of building up pretty badly in here. So these seeds are not growing, so I'm just going to use, I think, regular planters. Oh, actually one of them I think did grow here. Let's just leave the other one and see what happens. Hey, this guy automatically painted. I think that's new. Maybe not. Maybe it's because I used to have priority 9 on everything. And actually, we only want one artist. So who's the best at art? Actually, they're all pretty crappy at art. Stifled. We need some air pressure in here. Oh, they're actually growing now. Here we go. On the ground. Probably want to seal this room in so we can get a pressure going. Gonna put the mess tables up here for now. So this refrigerator should be frozen. Well, yeah, it's freezing. It's cooling down. Should be frozen in a second. Should get some pretty high stress going on here. Gotta get a massage table built. We can probably put it here where this bed is, and then move a bed upstairs. This could be our artist, Gossman. Creativity 6. It's not too bad. Things are going decently well. Oxygen is not great in the main base, but not too bad. There's some CO2 in the bedroom we want to get rid of. All these terrariums are just kind of temporary. We'll get an oxidizer going at some point. Electrolyzer, I should say. We really need to find a geyser, so we gotta kind of explore up and down here. We do have a few pockets of water that'll last us a while, but need a bit more than this to survive. So that's it for research. We got everything done. Disassemble 2 research stations. My plan was to have power over here, but I might kind of change things up and put the food here, power generation over here. Things are pretty warm over here though. Oh, we got a puffed over here. It's nice. Still haven't seen a geyser. Or a natural gas geyser. Kind of lucked out on our last map. We had quite a few geysers available. Try to get some slime into algae going. Building a second circuit here for the biodistiller. Just because I know this one's going to get overloaded pretty soon. Gotta get a CO2 air scrubber going down here. Since we got tons of CO2 piling up. A lot of polluted oxygen coming from somewhere. I guess it's from down here. Probably want to airlock that out. There's a geyser, steam geyser. This is what we were after. So we can get a source of water going. And another geyser, so we got 2 going on here, that's good. Oh, a natural gas geyser. Now we're talking. It's kind of far from the base though. Get some excellent yield. Nice. Naturally growing, excellent yield. Got some buff, diver lungs, narcoleptic. I like this Mima. So I'm trying to build a box for this water to collect in. So I don't have much water here, but we got to get a CO2 scrubber because we got a ton of CO2 in the bottom of the base here. So hopefully this one air scrubber will be good enough for now. And I hope we get enough water building up in here that we can use it for the scrubber. If not, we might have to filter out some polluted water to keep this going. But we also have our geyser up here we can start tapping into. So our CO2 scrubber was overheating. So I kind of drilled in here to try to get some wheezeworts. And I'll plant one wheezewort beside this scrubber to try to cool it down. And we did seal in this geyser room. And the water is collecting, but not very quickly. And the other thing I did up here is I cracked open this geyser and it's flowing down into this ice biome, which will naturally cool it. So we'll be able to use this as a clean water source pretty soon. I'm going to try this other cooling method I found for geysers a bit later, where you just have a pump and some wheezeworts and you cycle the water. But for now, I'll just use it from here instead. This will make a nice natural basin here. This is melting really nicely in here, just like we wanted. So we got our water flowing from up here down into the base, into a little small basin here that we can use. Just realized I don't need all this space in between each of my farm tiles. I think I can grow them. It's allowing me to build one right on top of the other one. But I guess they won't be able to get into harvest, so I need room for at least walking room. So here. So I'm just trying to rough out my fertilizer maker area here. I kind of want to build a lot of them, so do have our puffed in here, which we don't want to kill, but because we're going to need fertilizer for this sleet wheat farm. And we're going to need power for all this, so this will generate natural gas though, which we can use to generate power. And I just realized I have this very backwards because we're not getting rid of polluted water, we're using polluted water. So we're going to need to dig this out down here. Move the food mess tables from here because the CO2 can't get out of this area because since we have this grow room sealed below it. So we got all the CO2 collecting here, which we don't want. So I'm going to just move them over here. Wow, plus 12 digging. This looks pretty damn good. It's a bin jeter, but Go for it. Gotta find a place to put all our natural gas generators. It's gonna try to get a tube of natural gas going between here and here, and then eventually tap into it and build some power generation. Wow, there's 4 puffs there. Still not sure where I'll build the power generation, but somewhere close to here. Maybe up this column here, except this water's in the way. Maybe above here. Base is pretty far down, so we need a... If we did power along here, could have a heavy wire run down along here. The plan was always to have a corridor for the heavy watt wire down this left side of the base. So that might work. Transformers in here. Probably safe to make a shower, maybe right here. Keep the stress down. So the sleet wheat farm is coming along. It's kind of annoying that when this all melts, it makes a mess, but it's just part of the process. We got our fertilizer area set up. We got three makers on the go. The power generator here to power them. We really need to get, we got a shower built, and then we also need to get some natural gas power going, since we have natural gas collecting in here and eventually from here. Of course, that one ladder was priority 5, so they were not doing any of this. And we have 2 geysers, 2 trickling into this ice biome for kind of natural cooling. It's working pretty well. This will eventually all heat up, I think, which is fine, because that's the purpose of this whole room here. Nothing fancy, just passive cooling. I think I'm going to put the power here. Have it drain into here. The piping is much cleaner if you just do a very long tower of 1. When you get into 2 or 3, it gets a bit of a tangle. So I might start, not sure what I should do here. So the CO2 I probably want to send into the grow room. Keep it pressurized. Wonder where he's going. He is able to dig. Oh, they can't walk here, that's why. Make a temporary ladder for him. Yay, he's out. Wonder why Gossman won't go on the massage table. People are stressing out. Stress, stress, stress. Finally, Gossman got on a table. Come on. Mop that crap up. Come on. Mop it up. So we got our generator spot picked out and got a few built. And I'm just carving out a space for the next generators and polluted water to fall into. I guess I'll probably let it fall all the way down to here. Cancel this. I sealed off the 2 water geysers just for now. If we need more water, we can open them up right here. We've got lots for now. Tombed. Get him out of there. And I hope feeding natural gas in all in one pipe like this works. If not, we'll have to do something fancy. And the CO2, we're going to vent all the way down into our growing room. Down here. Had some major stress going on earlier, but managed to get through it. Just built 3 massage tables, and that seemed to cover it. It seems like the sleet wheat frost spun combo is going to keep us fed with this amount of duplicates. I probably won't take on any more, unless they're amazing. 15 is probably good for now. We want to join these 2. It's kind of a corridor here. Then get our gas pump, feed the natural gas generators over here. We want our heavy watt wire to run all the way down along here, hidden from everyone's view. It's very slow going, but it's going. So here we go. Natural gas will flow. It took so long to set this up, but now it's working. Kind of. Just realized the CO2 is quite warm. It's going to warm up our grow room. Probably want to cool it down first. We kind of need a heater, so we could use a thermoregulator as a heater for the base. May or may not work. I guess we'll find out. Well, I kind of got what I wanted to get done in the first episode. Quite a few things. Got the natural gas geysers hooked up, got power being generated. Got some good, fresh, cool, fresh water source going. Massage tables, mess tables, food source. Got plenty of sleet wheat going on here. Showers, toilets, so, and a CO and an air scrubber. So, kind of got the basics going now. Probably next episode I'll expand my power and get some oxidizers going. Sorry, electrolyzers. And then we'll be able to get nice fresh oxygen pumping through the base, and the hydrogen we can use to generate excess power if we need to. I mean, the whole goal of this round was to be more organized, to have a better layout of things. And hopefully the lag doesn't kill us this time. Anyway, so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to be notified on future episodes that I put out, which will probably be not as frequent as before, maybe every day or 2. Maybe every third day. I'm hoping to play a few other games as well, so Oxygen Not Included is super fun, but I feel like I need some variety. Anyway, so thanks for watching.